Welcome everybody. Shabbat Shalom family. We're here and I'm going to read a little bit out of the Bible. Read a little bit out of the King James and I'm going to read a little bit out of the Septuagint. Okay, so let's get into it. Book of Malachi. Praise to the Most High. Here. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, said the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, says the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, Ahel. They shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. Verse 5. And your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, the Lord will be magnified from the border of Israel. 6. A son honoreth his father, and a servant his master. If then I be a father, where is mine honor? And if I be a master, where is my fear? Said high unto you, O priests, that despise my name. And ye say, wherein have we despised thy name? Ye offer polluted bread upon my altar. And ye say, wherein have we polluted thee? And that ye say, the table of the Lord is contemptible. And if ye offer the blind for sacrifice, is it not evil? And if ye offer the lame and sick, is it not evil? Just like when we give stuff, when we give things, because we're so selfish. Sorry. Every time, because we're so selfish, we tend to give them like if we got three apples or three anything food, we'll give them the one we don't like. We give them the one we don't. Oh, I don't really eat that anyways. Oh, I don't like that. You can't have this one. And that's what happened to Cain. It's not that the Creator don't like fruits and vegetables and he just loved the offering of Abel because it was meat. It was because Cain gave all the rotten fruits. He said, fuck it, I'm sacrificing to an invisible God anyways. This bullshit. I must just give him all the crap I have. I'm gonna throw it anyways. And he was like, disrespectful motherfucker. But it's all good. That's how we are. You gotta stop thinking crazy. Like, think reality. Think how you would feel. Think how you would think if somebody act like that to you. Think logically when you're thinking about this kind of stuff. Think what would really happen. If you offer the lame and sick, is it not evil? Offer it now until thou fisteth unto the Lord a corrupt thing, for I am high, a great king, and my name is dreadful among the heathen. That's why they don't want you to know the name. That's why we taught all these Native American Mongoloids the name of the Creator, and now they use the name of the Creator for 900 different things. It describes 900 different things within the Native American. You ask one of them, none of them can tell you what it means. It means so many things. Higher, higher, everything. Every time you hear them, every chant, you always hear that word, and you never know what it meant. But if you look at the Hebrew language, see, they say all of these language came from a source language, and this Hebrew language is the source language. What we have today is not the Hebrew language. We have offshoots of this Hebrew language, even the ones that the Hebrew read in the Tanakh, all of this, that's a Samaritan form of the Hebrew language. But if you look at the translations of different names, you'll find that a translation of I am, that I am, which is translated am, in Hebrew translates to higher. It's been perverted throughout time, and it's mostly identified with either a higher, which is a feminine version, which they're trying to bring back in the Babylonian goddesses through that name. Also, they mistranslate it as the breath of life, which is translated as higher with an H. So these things mask that it's actually the name of the Creator, which is H-A-Y-A, not H-A-Y-H. That's the breath of life, His breath of which without we would not exist. And hey ya, like the Native Americans say, is the name of the Creator. The reason why they use it is because it has such a powerful resonance, the vibration of that name when used properly, and when you have a decent heart and good soul, when you're vibrating at a high frequency, these things come together, and you can. That's why it's so powerful, and that's why they make sure you don't know it. As he says, I am, which I just said is the translation of hair. And every time he says I am, thousands of times he goes I am, which is higher, which is why the Native Americans keep saying higher, but they don't know what it means. And now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you. If ye will not hear, and if ye will not lay it to heart, to give glory unto my name, higher, saith the Lord of hosts. And I will even send a curse upon you, and I will curse your blessings. I have cursed them already, because ye did not lay it to heart. Behold, I will corrupt your seed, and spread dung upon your faces, even the dung of your solemn feast, and none shall take you away with it. And ye shall know that I have sent this commandment unto you, that my covenant might be with Levi, saith higher. My covenant was with him of life and peace, and I gave them to him for the fear wherewith he feared me, and was afraid before my name. The law of truth was in his mouth, and iniquity was not found in his lips. He walked with me in peace and equity, and did turn many away from iniquity. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge. That's why you need to seek out knowledge, not just read the Bible. You gotta read millions of books, which is impossible. You need to study all the archaeological evidence. You need to study all the conspiracy theories, because you'll find out that a lot of this can be traced, but is being suppressed. And then all you hear all day is, show me the bodies, show me the bodies. They got the bodies. Alright. And they should seek the Lord. That's why he said, study to show yourself approved. He never meant look through this book that has been manipulated and perverted. You know, there's still a lot of truth in here, because anybody who's gonna try and trick you is not gonna fucking change the whole book. That's stupid. Then you're not gonna believe it, because it's not gonna be written in your heart, as he said. You're not gonna feel it. That's how they could turn my Hawaiian people, my Central American, my North American people so quickly to this fucking Christianity, because it was written in our heart. We felt it. Oh, that sounds familiar. Ooh, tell me more. Right? When they talk like in Hawaii, and think about your neighborhoods. If you're a Native American, you just find out you're Native American. You've been told you're a Negro your whole life, right? If you're a Hawaiian, when an ancestor, one of your elders, start talking about Hawaii and all ancient practices, how we used to be, you're like, oh, that sounds. This is so hard. This world's so hard, so frustrating. Oh, it got me down and out. It sounds so amazing. Tell me more. How we used to live, how everything was. Tell me more. Right? Because it's written in your heart. So they don't want to change the whole thing. They go take names out, mistranslate stuff, add things in, give you a Messiah. But it doesn't take away from the fact that your ancestors is written about in this book. And a lot of this is written by your ancestors. And if you just read between the lines and you research outside of the Bible, then things start to make sense. But everybody in the world want to think that everybody else in the Bible is real but the Hebrew people. Which y'all stuck up on names, but you understand names change and there's evolution of names. But you can take the Septuagint and take a modern name and track the name through time all the way back to the biblical name. But nobody cares. Everybody thinks it's bullshit. So nobody's gonna take the time to validate through that process. Not nobody, but most people won't take the time to validate it through that process. But it can be validated. And then we go, oh well, the Amorites had a meteorite shower and took out the Canaanites. What they're teaching you is black people, which is not. And they go, but we can never find the meteor shower that did it. We're looking all over Asia and the Middle East and we can't find it. They're in the wrong place. You gotta be in South America, in Campo de Cielo. See? If I told you that was a battlefield and it had me ancient battle over there, thousands of people died, and then you go over there and dig and say, fuck, you're full of shit, there's nothing there. All of that's a lie. When the battle was right there. But I told you in the wrong area. So now everything is a lie. And as long as you don't find that spot, you'll never be able to prove to me that it's real. That's how we at. That's where we at right now. Behold, and ye shall know that I have sent this commandment unto you. My covenant was with him of life and peace. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth. For he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts. But ye are departed, out of the way. Ye have caused many to stumble at the law. Ye have corrupted the covenant of Levi. Said, ha. Therefore have I also made you contemptible and base before all the people, according as ye have not kept my ways, but have been partial in the law. Have we not all one Father? Hath not one God created us? Why do we deal treacherously every man against his brother, by profaning the covenant of our fathers? Judah has dealt treacherously. An abomination is committed in Israel and in Jerusalem. For Judah has profaned the holiness of the Lord which he loved, and hath married the daughter of a strange God. The Lord will cut off the man that doeth this, the master and the scholar, out of the tabernacle of Jacob, and him that offereth an offering unto the Lord of hosts. And this have ye done, again covering the altar of the Lord with tears. So, what happened is, Solomon and a lot of these people married foreign women, or women with different forefathers. And in that sense, the woman has to separate from her father for a specific amount of time, like a disownment. And she has to turn from all of her learned behaviors and rituals and her gods, like Christmas, like Easter, and she has to separate herself and turn away from that, or else this is going to be true, and have married the daughters of strange gods. And then what happens is they end up turning us from our Creator, and that's what happened with Solomon. So that is the gist behind that. If she don't want to turn from her past and her father's gods and wholeheartedly follow the Creator only, then there's no use. And this have ye done, again covering the altar of the Lord with tears, with weeping, and with crying out, insomuch that he regarded not the offering any more, or receive it with good will at your hand. Yet ye say, wherefore? Because the Lord hath been witness between thee and the wife of thy youth, against whom thou hast dealt treacherously. Is it she that thy companion and the wife of thy covenant? And did not he make one? Yet had he the residue of the Spirit. And wherefore one, that he might seek a godly seed. Therefore take heed to your spirit, and let none deal treacherously against the wife of his youth. For the Lord, for here, the God of Israel, said that he hated, putting away, for one covereth violence with his garment, saith high. Therefore take heed to your spirit, that ye deal not treacherously. Ye have wearied your hair with your words. Yet ye say, wherein have we wearied him? When ye say, everyone that doeth evil is good in the sight of high, and he delighteth in them. Or where is the God of judgment? Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. And the Lord whom ye seek shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant. This is chapter 3, verse 1. Whom ye delight in, behold, he shall come, saith the Lord of hosts. But who may abide the day of his coming? And who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refiner's fire, and like a fuller's soap. And he shall sit as a refiner and a purifier of silver. And he shall purify the sons of Levi, and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto the Lord an offering in righteousness. Then shall the offering of Judah and Jerusalem be pleasant unto the Lord, as in the days of old, as in the former years. And I will come near to you to judgment, and I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers, against the adulterers, and against the false swearers, and against those that oppress the hirelings and the wages, the widow and the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his right, and fear not me, saith the Lord of hosts, for I am the Lord. I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Even from the days of your fathers ye are gone away from mine ordinances, and have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, said But ye said, wherein shall we return? Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye said, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings. Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house. And meat is translated to fruits and vegetables, okay? And prove me now herewith. Hold on. Okay. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in my house, produce. And prove me now herewith. Obviously, you get the lamb and stuff they said, but it's not just about that. It's about your tithes and offerings. If you're a farmer, then you give produce. If I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, and there shall not be room enough to receive it. And I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground, neither shall ye vine cast her fruit before the time in the field, saith the Lord of hosts. And all nations shall call you blessed, for you shall be a delightsome land, saith Your words have been stout against me, saith the Lord, Yet ye say, have we spoken so much against thee? Ye have said it is in vain to serve God. And what profit is it? Where's the money? Where's the value in it? That we have kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before high. And now we call the proud happy. Ye that they work wickedness are set up. Ye that they that tempt God are even delivered. Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance is written before him for them that feared Hiah, and that thought upon his name, Hiah. And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I wake up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteousness and the wicked, between him that serveth high and him that serveth him not. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, ye, and all that do wickedly, shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, high, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise, with healing in his wings. And ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall, and ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet. In the day that I shall do this, saith Hiah, remember ye the law of Moses my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb, for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of Hiah. And he shall turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the hearts of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. That's the end of the Old Testament. Gospels. This is the part that's way more perverted and manipulated and injected. That's why there's so many contradictions with this part. And this has 86 books taken out of it. This is a Greek manuscript. This is a Hebrew kind of manuscript. Roman or Alright, see you guys.